What I've been musing about here is this whole notion of perfection. The idea that there is a perfect way to be, and if we strive towards that, we're going to become our best selves. There's no such thing as perfection. You probably know that. May not stop you from striving to be perfect. The idea that we have of sin is kind of an outdated or like a not in fashion notion at this point, but sin is my diversion from the perfect that God is calling me to be. No, not that God is not calling me to be in a particular way, but that perfect is not what God wants of me, because there is no such thing as perfect. The notion of perfect is that there is a right way for us all to be. That is an ideal that is somehow external to myself, that when I discover that and I live into that, then I am being that which would be pleasing to God. No, what's pleasing to God is that I'm showing up in my life in a way that's actually fulfilling my being, which is unique to me. It turns out diversity is not a bug in the program. It's not something that, it's not a mistake. It's not an error. The very fact that we are different is necessary for the well-being of creation. We are each different. We're supposed to be different. There is a way of being that is optimal for me, that is in fact optimal for all of creation. And I do have not just an opportunity, a freedom, but a responsibility to discover who it is that is mine to be, and living into that, because when I live into that, I'm also creating what's in the best interests of all of creation. Sin is not falling short of perfection, it's falling short of who it is that I'm ultimately called to be. Huge responsibility, very hard to do, extremely rewarding, but there's a downside, isn't there always? And the downside is that the way that I move from my current way of being into this fuller, richer, more meaningful, more valid, more creative way of being is by leaning into the things about my life now that aren't working. And the way I know that something's not working is that it pinches, it binds, it's an ouch. It's a dislocation, a disruption. It's the place where pain arises for me around those things that I'm doing that are actually not in my own best interest. So when I can discover, oh, wait, when I do this, that doesn't actually work for me, and I alter my way of being in such a way that I am more directly and creatively discovering and living into who it is that I can be, such that I'm creating more of what it is that I need. I feel safer, I feel more satisfied. I'm actually showing up in my life in such a way that everyone benefits. It is not a zero-sum game. When I'm living my life in such a way that I win, everybody wins. If my way of winning is in any way predicated upon someone else losing, I'm not winning. Because we're all ultimately and intimately attached, created. We're a part of this larger web of being. Happy Friday.